Merry Christmas, guys, and what a great year we've had in 2012. Today, I'm going to talk to you about the exercise of the week. Here it is. It's the 20th of December. Exercise of the week this week. Over the last couple of weeks, you've done all sorts of different training. Certainly since PBT's over, for the new guys that have come on board, you'd have set a benchmark and you've done what we know as our superhero session. And that's something that's measurable to see that you can move forward in your fitness. Over the next couple of weeks, and certainly this next week, what we want to focus on is just simply getting up and moving. I'm going to really dumb it down for you, and that's why there's no specific exercise article this week. Instead, for the next fortnight, as we'll be offline for a week, what I would like is for you guys, and what I'd like to encourage you guys to do is just to keep moving over Christmas, because for some bizarre reason, we decide to stop doing exercise and we start feeling lousy. Of course, we're just eating too much. It's just the culture in Australia, certainly food and alcohol, less moving. We're not at work, perhaps we're on holidays, and we're just not as active. And for some of you guys, you might already be really active and you might have that active lifestyle over the next couple of weeks. Terrific. Well done to you. But this is what I mean. If you've got some time up your sleeve, there's 5 tips I want you to take away. Number 1, it's just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Don't procrastinate. Get off your behind and go and move. If you've got 5 minutes, go. If you're at Christmas lunch and you've eaten and you've got kids about and people are outside, get a cricket ball, go bowl the ball. Get a football, go for a kick. Move more often. Try to keep the activity level to a high. Why? Because if you fidget and move throughout your day, fidget like I move here, you can burn an extra 200 plus calories a day. Now, for those that know what that means, 200 calories, just say 200, it's 240 exactly. And this was a study that was done in the UK back in 2008. What it said is that people that fidget and move, so those people that are highly active and they're moving throughout the day, burn on average about 240 calories more. 240 calories more a day works out to 1,640 calories extra per week. 1,640 calories is nearly half a pound. That makes a pound a fortnight, which makes close to a kilo a month. It equals about 10 kilos of fat a year just by moving more. So guys, tip number 1, let's see you move, let's see you fidget, get active over the next fortnight and get involved. The next thing with the workout of the week, and this is the workout of the fortnight, the next 2 weeks, what we want to do is find stuff that you enjoy. Yep, I know you know it, but just go do it, okay? This is what I'll be doing. Over the next couple of days, here it is, it's Friday, I've done some weight training today. Tomorrow, we've got our Christmas party this evening with the Viva Club, so we're going to have a great night tonight. Tomorrow, yeah, I'm going to let my hair down tonight. I'm going to enjoy with my clients, and tonight's a night off, definitely. Tomorrow, there'll be some light cardio. I'll probably head down the river, take my little fella in his pram and the dog, and we'll probably go for a walk, run, a little bit of movement, because I enjoy doing martial arts, so I'll probably do some light shadow boxing and drink lots and lots of water. That's something that I'd probably do tomorrow. Because I'm doing a light session and because we're away on Tuesday, a day off, I'll actually get some weight training in on Sunday and Monday, because I'll be away for probably about a fortnight at our holiday shack. So I'm hopefully going away for 10 days, and I'm looking forward to just a bit of a break. So what I'll do is I'll get weights in Sunday, Monday. That means for 2 weeks, I've got no weight training while I'm away, no designated resistance training besides my body weight and maybe a TRX. No Fitball up there. I won't have room this year. So I'm going to be looking at body weight movements regularly. Tuesday I'll have off and there'll be movement in the afternoon. You can rest assured we'll definitely be out throwing balls around with the kids or swimming in the pool. Looks to be good weather. Wednesday, travelling to Foul Bay will be another day off. So it looks like I'm going to have 2 days off in a row. Thursday, I'll be definitely going for another run, and then what I normally do is put in a body weight exercise, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that in a moment. That's my tip number 3. So I'll be moving, finding something I enjoy. I love to run along the beach, so I'll be down there on the beach and I'll be doing some shadow boxing and some movement. What I then normally do is I'll pick a body part sort of a day, and I'll go for it with body weight movements. I do whatever I can. I use my body weight. I'll use the TRXs. I'll use bags. I'll use buckets. I'll find whatever I can. I'll find the hill, and I'll use gravity. And I'm going to discuss that in a moment. And that's how I can work out when I'm away. And just 20 minutes of that. Tip number 1, just going up and doing it makes me feel so much better, given that generally when we're away there's alcohol and food quite regularly. So I want to make sure that I'm maximising my enjoyment of those things and not feeling guilty. Tip number 3, guys, is what I want you to focus on where possible. If you're on a holiday, is look at the movements that you can replicate that you've done in our program or done with your trainer, and do them with body weight. Now here's some examples. There's 4 ways to grow muscle and to get a resistance training effect and get some form of stimulus, and that is load. Load is what you use in the gym because you've got a machine, you've got dumbbells, yeah? So we've got to find things to replicate load. An esky, bin, bucket, esky. Weighted ropes, some chain when you're away. Find some chains, find some ropes, some planks of wood. What we can also use is bags filled with water bottles, cans, whatever you can find. You've got all of these options certainly around you. You've got hills, you might have sand on the beach, you might have seaweed and these sorts of things. There might be rocks along the beach that you can be using with a boot camp style session. The fact is to go and replicate something you've done. So if you've done medicine ball passes in the gym in a group training session, you might be running along the beach, you might see a rock, pick the thing up and throw it 10 times on one side and run after it, throw it 10 times on the other side. It needs to be just a focused press, full range, try to really open your chest up and try to replicate those movements as well as possible. Remember, focus on those bigger functional movements, and again, it should feel right, it should feel strong. But that's an option that you have. You can bend over and deadlift that. You can squat that by holding it to your chest. Many options when you make a decision to exercise. The 4th tip that I have for you is to look at these movements this way. When you do one of these workouts, ask yourself really simply, have you done a squat? So on my run to the boat ramp and back, I will make sure I put a squat in. I'll make sure I put a bend in, so I can bend over and pick up that rock, for example. Okay, I'll make sure I put a push in, so I'll push up, or an example of a push up. It could be a shoulder press, a handstand, all sorts, a dip, a wall push up, a ball throw. Okay, on top of that, have you got in a pull, some form of pulling movement? So grab your towel, do some towel pulls when you're away. You can do that anywhere. Chin-ups, whatever you're able to do. Okay, partner up and do one-arm rows against somebody else. Find a partner's great. And on top of that, have you also done a lunge? And have you done some form of rotational movement? So you can use your body weight for all of these things. The checklist is push, pull, lunge, squat, rotation, and bend. There are your 6 movements that you want to make sure you put into the workouts. Now, if you break your program up, so one day you're doing chest and back movements because you're doing some push-ups, some chin-ups, some towel rows, and some shoulder press push-ups, or a plank press over the head, for example, the next day you might do more leg movements. That makes sense. My 5th point, guys, is when you do this, make sure you don't allow your body to turn to mush. Just go out and do it. You will lose a lot of strength, and certainly those tendons, if you back off, the strength loads that you've been doing will really come under a lot of pressure when you hit the gym back in, January 3rd or January 10th for some of you guys. So you want to make sure you've got appropriate stimulus. So my 5th point is you've got to still make sure that you've got 1 to 2 training sessions a week, even if it's just one, at close enough load, not just back off, because that's not maintaining. So often we go away and we just start being active and moving, but once a week you've got to up it. Once a week, next week you've got to pick a workout where you're going to work hard. Now if you've got no weight for squats, pick up a rock, pick up 2 bags with a bucket and jump. Get those structures under load. That's if you can. If not, find some load. Find something similar. You need to lift similar at the similar intensity once a week to what you have been doing by using these different examples, using what I've just said to you. So if you're a guy that squats 100 kilo and you're 80 kilo, then add 20 kilo to your body and jump. That's going to be 100 kilo worth of load that you're going to be jumping and catching on the way down. It's going to be similar sort of stretch. Stand on a bench, drop off it, and land with 20 kilos on your chest. Similar sort of stress, providing your technique's good. I'm just giving you ideas. By no means are all of you going to be able to do this, and I know that. But just try to replicate what you've already been done. That's the point on that. Something that you feel comfortable with. Find something you're comfortable with and keep the load similar. For example, same scenario. If you were to drop off of a ball into a push-up, if you're 100 kilo and you're a stronger person, you would say you're 80 kilo and you do a 100 kilo bench press, drop off the ball, you're going to be taking quite a lot of load. That's going to give you that stress that you've had. For you girls, same thing. If you're lifting 30 kilo, then push-ups at your weight will be more than enough, because most of you would be anywhere between 60 and say 100 kilo. So a push-up is going to be quite substantial against a 30 or 40 kilo bench press. So once a week, make sure you've got some load similar to the stimulus that you've been having over the training. Otherwise, tendons will go to mush and you can possibly hurt yourself when you step back into training. And we'll talk about that in a fortnight's time. So number 1, guys, just do it. Next point, we want to make sure that you're finding something that you enjoy. So important. Okay, I just mentioned the tendons go to mush, so you need to have some stimulation. You need to have something at intensity once per week. The next point I made was make sure you're putting those movements in. Again, make sure they're in there. And the other thing was find ways to give similar load. And we discussed there using some bags, perhaps also using other ways to give you load like momentum, or gravity. Like I said, dropping off of a bench into a squat hold, for example, is another way to give you great load and still get that training effect with a different means rather than lifting a weight. So there you have it, guys. There are my tips over the holiday season, so you have a great holiday season. Maintain what you've worked on. Don't think that by stepping off and having a week's break is okay. The Australian rugby team and also a lot of these other rugby clubs and footballers, they get measured on the 2nd of January, guys. So they will knock off today and they get measured on the 2nd. And if they have not maintained their strength and their body composition within a certain percentage, they're in big trouble on the 2nd. So think about it. If you had a weigh-in on the 2nd, what would you do over this next week? Now, of course, you're not getting paid for it like they are. There's a little bit extra incentive there, but still, ask yourself, to enjoy these things, you still got to, you do the crime, you do the time. So if you could think like that, that's certainly how our trainers think, I would hope, and people that are fitness professionals, because we just go and do it. Some of you guys will do that, I'm sure, and these are the ways that can certainly help you go above and beyond if you're asking yourself, well, I won't be able to do that because of my way. That's not true. There's always a way when you've got that will. Guys, have a sensational Christmas and all the best in 2013. Keep it up, and of course, check out the festive season plan over the next fortnight. That's what we've left with you to make sure you're continuing and moving forward and make it happen in 2013. Have a great Christmas, guys. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.